We're going to explain how we do matchmaking because everybody has their own idea and opinion on what matchmaking is. If we say matchmaking, we get about a dozen different definitions of what that looks like. And some people think, oh, that's a mail order bride. Yeah, find me the right one.
It's ready for you in the box, delivered to your house.
Well, the fact of the matter is the matchmaking we do doesn't take you out of the equation. It
Right.
doesn't take God out of the equation either. It involves all of you and your faith and trust in God and some real meaningful action, being coachable, teachable, which is an evidence of humility, and also being willing to ask questions and being willing to discover what your mission in life is. First of all, we start with where you're at. That might be not ready for anything, not ready for a relationship, just got out of a disaster, or never even had a disaster, let alone a relationship. Wherever you're at, that's where we start, right? And then we define, what do you want? What do you want? When do you want that? How far out you put that date is a determining factor on how many objections, issues, and excuses we have to work through and overcome. So we start with one step at a time. We start processing through the things that are blocking and holding you back. And as you check mark each one of those off as having been dealt with, you get to a certain point down the road to where a switch flips.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you're like, you almost can't get married fast enough because all the blocks are gone, right? So we don't just throw people into relationships and hook you up or match you up and okay, hope it goes well for you. Good luck. No. We take you from, I'm not ready to get into a relationship. Don't even talk to me about dating. We take you from there to the point of you like, I want to get married and what do I need to do next? I'm ready. That's what we do. Okay. So the matchmaking process involves first taking care of the healing and the trauma, dealing with limiting mindsets and beliefs that are holding you back. Bad religious teaching is a very common one we deal with, especially when it comes to whether it's God's will for you to be married or single. Well, I sound like a broken record sometimes. But in God's perfect heart and his perfect will, according to his original plan, before sin and the fall, back in the garden when Adam and Eve were perfect and sinless, he told them to be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. That is God's perfect heart and perfect will. Whatever is said thereafter in the Bible has always needs to be interpreted through the lens of what was God's original. Same way with, like the example of the Pharisees and scribes bringing to Jesus the question about whether, divorce and remarriage, Moses allowed this and that. And he says, no, it was from the hardness of your hearts that Moses made that exception for you. But from the original, it wasn't so. One man, one woman for life. It's the same concept here. So regardless of what you believe or think about Paul, the fact of the matter is, there's all sorts of things I could go into there. I'm kind of getting on a bunny trail, but I'm going to come back to it. But I feel like I need to address this. First of all, ancient Hebrew culture, and even today, you ask any rabbi, whether Messianic or Orthodox, doesn't matter. They all recognize that back in those days, you were not allowed to be in religious leadership unless you were a married man. And at best, maybe Paul might have been a widower. And he was talking through the lens of trying to make a point that had nothing to do with singlehood. He was going deeper than that. And so Paul did that a lot. He would use an example where he was actually saying something deeper, and a lot of people that just skimmed over the surface, you'll think this is what he's talking about when actually he's talking about something much deeper. And so I encourage you to go check that out a little bit more closely. So anyhow, now we've got that out of the way. That's one way we help people overcome limiting beliefs, mindsets, and bad religious teaching. We address those things. Next, we go into the healing. If you get triggered, if this video triggers you, then that would be evidence of something. Triggers often reveal a judgment they reveal trauma, and they reveal a lack of confidence. Like if you're confident in something, you can't get triggered in that area, right? So if you do get triggered, that means you're not confident in what you believe. Because if you're super confident in what you believe, you won't be offended if somebody disagrees with you, right?
Yeah.
You could go to President Trump and tell him he has no clue how to be president, and he'd just like flick you off his shoulder like a fly. It's not going to be offensive to him. He's confident in his capacity to lead.
So in that, what you just said is that we're actually working on identity.
Identity was the next one I was going to go to.
Because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what's in you and what's your mission here on Earth, yeah, and how you visualize that, what do you see your life to look like, then you can't really have someone to come alongside of you, because you got to present yourself for another person to choose to be with you. So it's all set in the system of business, and it's something that we need to recognize as well, is that if you don't know who you are, you can't really present yourself. You can't sell yourself to anyone else for them to invest into your life and become part of your life.
And basically, getting into relationships is a type of sales. You're presenting your best version, your best you, and hoping it catches somebody's attention, and that they will see you for how you want to be seen or believe yourself to be. And that gets into the realm of honesty, of course, too. Present yourself from a place of being honest. So absolutely identifying who you are, and that gets into a whole bunch of recognizing that triggers are going to come up. Triggers and trauma will absolutely affect who you present yourself to be. It will, the more trauma, the more fake the person often comes across to other people, because you're trying to hold things together and protect those wounds from getting triggered, instead of just letting it all out and okay, I got triggered, great. New story, opportunity to level up and grow and heal. Instead, most humans are like protecting their wounds and trauma, and they think it's pointing the finger at this person or that situation is hurting me. Well, again, we come back to confidence. You can't be offended in the area that you are super confident in. It's impossible to offend a person who's confident in that area he's confident in.
The other thing is, that from watching other people, when they're holding things like that, or they holding themselves together to present themselves in some way, but they're really wounded inside, they're actually not hiding it. You can't really hide it,
because it shows up in their energy.
Yeah, other people feel it, they see it. It's only you yourself that you're fooling, that you can hide those things from others. So it's actually very important to recognize those things and identify what those things are, so you can go through the healing process that gains confidence, right?
And so the next step would have to do with the practical things of communicating. So in our single to married community, we have we cultivate an environment and atmosphere of singles that are willing to communicate with each other, have conversations, and we have specific templates and processes that we recommend that they follow. And they're doing it for the purpose of even just getting comfortable talking with the opposite gender and having a conversation with them. And it has nothing to do with whether they're interested in each other or attracted to each other. It's all about practice and building your confidence in just communicating with the opposite gender, and in getting to that place of fluency, and then doing it with as many different individuals as possible. And then you have a broad array of experiences and interactions. Then when you meet that special someone, you'll know who they are, because they stand head and shoulders above all the others you've talked with. And you have a better and more solid understanding and grasp of
that's the one.
That's the one. And you have a whole lot of like 100 different experiences in your background of all the conversations you have that helped you to define what you want, what you're looking for. Because you've had all these conversations with colorful, wonderful people that were like, great people, but not my type, or not my
match.
Not my match. But you still made a friend, you blessed someone, and you worked on your communication and confidence in that conversation. And then along comes this special someone, and you have the confidence to engage in conversation. You know what to say, what to do, because you've done it so many times, in just how to open a conversation, what the icebreaker comments are to open a conversation, and what questions to ask, what to talk about without making them feel like you're a creep, or like, who are you, or you're pursuing the guys. All that stuff doesn't need to come into the picture, because of this process is such that it matches the feminine, masculine energy, depending which gender you are, and you just move forward. So anyhow.
And so the other thing is, if you are really social and you have so much confidence, you love people, and you don't need to gain that confidence in talking to people. Well, the thing is, though, what we are presenting in the community is not just that. There's specific things that you want to talk to people about. And, even if you have confidence, it's great. It's a big plus for you, so that you can talk to more people to find the things that we are sharing about, and you can find them faster. So you are going maybe on this trajectory versus this trajectory. And so just know that even though you have a lot of great social skills, it is only going to be a benefit for you, and still follow directions and follow those steps that work every single time.
And I've met a lot of guys that are super confident. They have no problem going up to a lady and striking up a conversation and making a friend and even getting her phone number. Well, the thing we have to remember is, if that's you and you're still single, you have to recognize that somewhere you're still single, remember? Okay? If you're listening to this video, it's highly likely that you are. So there's still some missing ingredient somewhere.
Yeah.
And to recognize that, then we obviously in our process would delve into why. Where's the disconnect there? And it could have something to do with, maybe you're a player. Not some guys are actually, they're players.
They have illusion.
They're attached to the illusion of wanting marriage without actually committing to it and going after it. And they're getting some sort of emotional feel-good element from their communication with women without communicating. So it's like, if you find yourself, you're fluently communicating with the opposite gender, you have lots of friends of the opposite gender, you're cool, you're awesome, you got this, and I don't need help. Well, then we get into the thing of what type of emotional energy are we pulling from all of those relationships that is soothing and feeding something in you that you need without the associated commitment to actually move forward towards something beneficial. So this is all, and we could go into various objections that individuals will say, well, I don't need this, or I need to do that, I'm already there. Well, the fact is you're still single, right? And so we dig deeper and we find out where's the disconnect and the belief, and then we address that. So there's always something somewhere. And so along this whole thing explains how we do matchmaking is we deal with the process and the journey towards that. And we give you the tools, or actually show you how to develop the tools that will get you from here to here, right? Whatever it takes.
And those tools are customizable, and yet the basics will stay there. The foundation will stay there. So it's been amazing to watch our community members grow and develop those qualities that you look in the partner, those qualities that maybe they were missing. And listen, every one of us missing something, right? Otherwise we would be perfect. And so coachable and teachable spirit is very important in our community.
And matching missions.
And matching missions. So if you come to our community and you are thriving and growing, that means you have a coachable and teachable spirit. If you come and you say, I got it, I'm out of here, I don't need this, you're actually not coachable and teachable.
Or there's too many other ex-Amish people in the group, and you yourself are ex-Amish. Like, that's judgment, right?
Right. So
it is true. 70% of the people in our community do actually come from the Amish and Mennonites, but the 30% that aren't is growing as we continue to expand. The only reason we have so many previously Amish Mennonites is because that's my background. So obviously I attract those that there's something relatable.
There's that connection.
There's that connection,
and the
that
trust
relatability
there. Yeah. So the matchmaking that we have here is also not just, like Jesse said, sitting you in front of each other because we already think that's a good match for you. But we're giving you some things that you actually need to do to recognize your match. Okay? If we put them in front of you, then if anything happens, whose fault would that be? Right?
Yeah, so then it'd be our fault because we matched you up poorly. No, you're fully in charge of your decision. You still need to take responsibility for your choice. We do everything to enhance the journey and the process of helping you define
and choose
who is your right match. You get to choose, you get to define that. And so,
and you know what I was going to say in that same note is that similarly to God, He can choose a person for you. He can parade a whole group of men or women in front of you. Yet, it is your responsibility to choose.
God won't ask her out for you.
Exactly. So that is part of what we provide in the community. And it's been amazing to see that accountability in the community makes you grow faster and also encourages you to adopt certain things, certain characteristics or character traits that will get you there faster.
And so another element I'd like to cover and address is that the people that thrive and do well in our singles community are those that recognize that they are there to learn, grow, and develop something that they can take out into their realm of influence, their community, and apply in their everyday life. With the understanding that their person, the one that they want to marry, may not necessarily be in the community itself. But they recognize that that's not the point. That's not the reason that they're there. So we have lots of people that join, take a quick look around. Oh, nobody in here. I'm interested. I'm out. And a couple of years later, they're still single. And I'm like, they just missed the point. If you just push play on the training videos and follow directions, you'd probably be married by now instead of looking around and treating our group like a swipe left, swipe right type of dating site, hookup site, but okay, we're like, everybody's in a different place. If that's what they see, then okay, bless you. So anyhow, we do have a package giveaway that we're doing. So we're giving away a matchmaker package to one person as a gift for the month of January of 2025. So if you're watching this video and it's still January of 2025, unless we extend it into February. This is a shameless plug at the end of this video for you to comment or reach out to us if you'd like to see if you qualify to receive that package. We're going to give it to one person, and each person is interviewed with 4 questions for
our panelists to
review,
choose, and see who is the best fit for the package. And the package is $50,000 package.
Carlos and Chantel are leading the charge on that. And they normally charge $50,000 for that package. And they're giving one away. Now we work with them. And so that brings us into the picture. So we're just putting it out there that they're doing a giveaway.
Other than that,
we'll see you next time.
That's right.